So what's our topic today?
The voice inside your head. Is it helping, hurting, where is it coming from? All that good stuff.
Love it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't actually have a voice inside my head usually. Do you?
All the time.
There's this research study that I saw a few years ago where they took two groups of people to see if some had the voice in their head and some didn't. And some people don't have it. There's no narration. People aren't using their voice to analyze, and that's how it is in there, very empty.
It's really interesting.
But you have it.
I thought everyone had it.
Do you have it?
No, it's not a voice. It's like nobody talks to me. I don't hear like, hey, buddy, you need to do this.
That's
It's
like
more
God.
like, it's more, what?
That's more of a God. Like when it echoes, that's like God.
Okay. Mine is more of a thought that I think about. It doesn't talk to me.
Yeah. Even my thoughts don't usually sound like words. They're very abstract. My thoughts are usually about feelings, and I have to think about the feeling to understand.
That's interesting. My thoughts have my voice.
Your voice like that we hear right now?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah, but deeper. Like
In
below.
English, you're bilingual, yes?
Yes.
So which language? is
English.
English. Really?
The voice that comes through to me is I'm on stage and I'm giving people great information and I hear it myself as an audience member and I'm like, yes, that's what I'm going to talk about.
Whoa. Interesting.
I
You
would
guys
have
don't have that?
imagined him being like a mini-me, the voice being high.
No.
not low.
It's very low.
It's low.
Like,
Lower than yours?
hey.
So it's like your higher self. Your
Lower
Yes.
self.
your higher, lower voice self.
The voice is much louder at night and in the shower.
Wow.
Hey.
Right. And it's also very loud when I go to like in and out and I roll down the window and it says, how can I help you? I'm like, wow, not now. But I figured that would be the in and out person.
Have you gotten treatment for this?
No, but I think if I don't give my thoughts a voice, I'm going to forget them quickly.
I also think this is very normal. The internal narrator, that's a huge phenomenon that thousands, if not millions of people have. That might even be more common than not having a voice. So it's good that we address it for our listeners and viewers. Whether you have a voice or you don't have a voice, you definitely have thoughts and they have a tone. And that's what we're talking about today.
So you two don't have it.
No.
I'll take it back.
Oh,
After this beautiful explanation, I tend to see myself speaking to people
in your head.
in my head. That's a voice I will hear.
Okay.
But it's not like I'm sleeping, all of a sudden a thought comes and the thought is talking to me. No. But if I give that thought some energy, then I put myself in the story and then I can hear voices because I'm playing it in my head.
Got it. Do you hear their voices too?
Yeah, sure. No, it becomes a whole show.
Now, if let's say you're on the road, as an example, and you're running late, how do you hear the thought in your head? Do you hear a voice that says, you're going to be late?
No.
What does
no.
it sound like?
I only hear my own voice when I'm having profound thoughts.
Oh,
Or thoughts about, let's say, a situation or something that's going to be a big deal. Missing a dental appointment. I don't have a voice for that. I just do it in real time.
okay. So you're not thinking.
No.
Okay. And you?
Client meetings, having to have an awkward conversation, that's when the voice comes. And I'll play it in my head. But that's what I do. I just play it in my head, play the roles.
I
But
think that's
you-
very normal too.
Yeah.
But are you rehearsing in your head or is it a thought in your head?
I put myself in different positions. For example, I'll first be, okay, I'm going to just be me. And then I'm like, yeah, didn't like the way that sounded. Let me go a little bit deeper and bigger. And then from position of authority. And then, yeah, I guess it is kind of like a rehearsal.
Yeah, you're role playing in your head. And obviously you got to get some voice to that thought. But most part, when I am in the shower, because maybe the sound of the water or whatever it is, I want to make sure that I hear myself better. So I give it a voice. At nights when it's very quiet, I also give it a voice. And it's a voice of me talking like this. And that way I have two reference points. One is my thought and one is the voice that I heard. Most of the thoughts I have, I call downloads. They come from somewhere outside of me. And as they're coming in, I'm like, whoa, shoot, that's profound. Whoa, that's great. That would help me in this situation. That would help Kevin in that situation. Let me put a voice to it and I will remember it better. But that's a download. The profound stuff is a download. The things that I'm rehearsing, I know it's myself.
When you hear a belief that you have, because sometimes that's when I hear a voice in my head, or at least not a voice, but I have to put words to it. when I believe like, oh, I can't do this or I can do that, do you hear the voice then?
I do, but also I know the source of it is not from up high, it's from down low.
The DL.
Because if it comes from down low, it's from fear or limiting beliefs.
Does it have a different tone to it? Or?
Yeah, it does.
Ooh.
The one that comes from up, it has a low voice. The one that comes from below,
Has a high voice.
it's like, hey, come on, man, you can't do that shit. And I tell myself, of course you can, you son of a
Which is that voice?
normal voice. I get a high, normal, low.
Got it.
Okay, low is from a download. Download, low.
Yeah.
You guys can remember that. Right?
Yes.
Medium would be me judging what's going on.
Me.
Yeah.
DM.
And if I'm playing a role or whatever, that's the medium one. And then the high one,
Smoking
is-
marijuana.
the high one comes from fear, from all these issues I may have had in the past.
Yeah.
And I can tell the difference between them. That's why I can not give any weights to the ones down here, and I can give more weight to the ones up there.
Wow. So I have nothing like that. Downloads probably happen quietly and it just goes into my subconscious without a voice. My voice is, like I told you, it's probably more of rehearsal. So my thoughts have no voice.
Yeah.
It's just a thought.
And mine are mute as well.
Don't you guys get those profound thoughts in the shower every morning? Like a sentence or a concept or an awakening.
When I get a profound download, I have to put words to it immediately or I'll lose it.
Yes.
But there's no voice until I start talking out loud. It's not narrating in my head. I have to literally open my mouth and start
I
talking,
see.
which is why I have to be alone a lot.
A few times when that happens to me and I feel like the kids are sleeping next door and I can't really come out and say, thou shalt not lie.
Yeah.
Sounds like Moses.
Right. I write it down on my notes. That would be the voice I
Yes.
give it.
Yes. I have to do that, write it or speak it, or else I won't retain it.
Yeah.
Well, now that we've established that,
How do you know which voices to give weight to and which ones to not? If I know that the voice is coming from fear, it's trying to reestablish more fears and more doubts, then I know the source of it is low. If I have to go talk on stage, for example, and the voice says, just pretend you're sick, just pretend you have a flat tire, I know where that's coming from. Then I know I should not give it any weight. And the voice up here says, no, as a matter of fact, I want you to go talk on stage because it will get rid of your anxiety. And you're going to have to put yourself through that. I'm constantly refereeing between these two guys. And I think now that I know who the loser is in this whole thing, I don't give it any weight. And I think more people should understand the two voices, the good or the bad. If you remember from the old time cartoons, there was a good guy and a bad guy on your shoulders, right?
an angel and a devil.
Yeah, so that's what I hear. I hear the devil saying, no, don't do it. No, break this off. No, don't do that. Don't return that call. But the one on this side says, you have to do it. If it's coming out of fear, you got to actually double down on it.
Wow. Deep. For me, it's more like a felt sense of the two sides. If it's an old pattern of mine, it feels a little depressing, stressful, anxious, like a tightening. I feel it in my body very much, like a sensation. And if it's the evolving, growth-oriented, expansive version, it feels more open. There's actually a lot less anxiety with that voice, but I don't hear it audibly. I don't hear any words. It's just feelings. So I have to navigate by this silent compass. And again, if I don't have solitude or privacy, it's really hard for me to hear that actually. It's really important for me, especially to be mindful of my environment. If I'm in public, if I'm not listening, I can just get swept up in autopilot, I guess you could say.
I'm like you. I don't have the chatter in my head, but I do have thoughts that come, good and bad. Don't do it, do it. There are times I just blurt out if I'm listening too much to the negative thought. You may hear me in my house saying, shut up.
Oh, to your head?
To my thought, not to the voice, to the thought.
Interesting.
Because I don't want to go there. But typically, anytime I have a thought or voice, I like to sleep on it, give it some thought, give it some time.
Yeah.
To marinate and see if it repeats, if the thought comes back. Maybe if the thought is do this, my safe side wants to kind of wait and then take action versus gotta do this now. Out of my way, I'm getting my car.
Well, thank you for that. I love that. I love that perspective, and I respect it greatly. I love the Band-Aid approach. Pull the Band-Aid off. if a thought comes to me that is strong enough, it comes from my soul or from the ether, I have to do it. Doesn't matter if it's going to be people hurt, feelings upset, whatever it may be. I just think we have to act upon our thoughts. Not the bad thoughts, not, oh, I want to kill that lady who brought my French fries late. Let me go kill her. No, obviously that's not a good thought. It didn't come from above. It came from below, your ego, your low self-esteem, or whatever it may be. But if something comes to you, let's say, go through this door. This opportunity, just open and go through it and just trust. If I sleep on that for a couple of days or a day or whatever, then maybe I'm going to find bits and pieces of my traumas in the corners of my brain and put them together and come up with a reason why I shouldn't. So my philosophy is, if you get a message or a thought or a download that requires you to move fast, move, and then just trust the rest of the process.
How do we know whether the voice in our head is helpful or harmful?
Now I have the way I can categorize them, and the ones that come from here, I know that it's from my higher self. If it comes from down here, it's from my traumas. But I think people have to understand, if you're doing something to perpetuate that void that you have, I think that's coming from traumas or lack. But if it's a thought that comes to you and it's expansive and you can grow from it and you can experience new things from it, not just to create a Band-Aid for some other issue, then I think you have to go for it.
I only ask myself for a little bit of time. I'm not talking about wait 2 months and then say, okay, yeah, I'll do it. Just let it marinate, let the thought marinate. When the higher forces say, hey, yeah, do this business venture with this guy you just met on the street. Yes, it sounds attractive. And that's what I'm saying. To me, things don't always come like, oh, this is the energy of the universe speaking to me. It could be just something inside of me saying, oh my God, what a great opportunity. I need to jump on it. You go by the domain name, you make a website, you quickly put together 2 logos, and then you find out the guy is a hack. So that's what I meant. Yes, you do get inspiration, you do get downloads, but I have trouble deciphering which one is just my fantasies or my deep desire to succeed versus a message from above. That's why I say, think about it. I'm not saying 2 months, 1 day. The next morning, if you still feel the same, do it.
So you're like giving your body a chance to catch up with your mind.
Yeah, and decipher that message, whether it is you thinking that or the universe thinking it for you.
I think it has to be different scenarios. For business ventures, yes, like don't jump into it right away. Do a people finder and see if this guy is a hack or he's real. When I was 18, 19, I was walking at the Glendale Galleria. I saw Mario Lopez and Tiffany Amber Thiessen from the Saved by the Bell shows. And I was with my friend Dennis and Kevin, and we're just walking, and everyone's like, oh my God, that is Mario Lopez and Tiffany Amber Thiessen. And so my first reaction was, I'm going to go and say hi to them. That was my first reaction, because I said, oh, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I've been watching them. I admire them. Let me just go say hi and introduce myself, and maybe something good's going to come out of it. Kevin and Dennis, on the other hand, they're like, oh, sure, let me think about it. Is that correct to approach them? They just went in the guest store. Let me not do it. Let me think about it. So they missed out on that opportunity. The same thing when I saw the weather guy at the Glendale Galleria. He was walking around, and I said, I want to be a weatherman. There he is. Let me go and introduce myself. I don't care if he's eating his Wetzel's pretzels. I want to go and say hi to him.
It was Auntie Anne's.
Whatever. So the point is, in that moment, something told me, this is your opportunity, grab it.
The deep voice.
Yeah. But if I would have said, it's okay, let me go think about it for a couple of minutes at the Orange Julius, which, by the way, was a great, wonderful place, then he would have left. I guess it depends on the situation.
Yep.
If you're going to make a introduction to someone that could change your life and God or the universe places them into your path, or if you're in a relationship and something happens and you have to act accordingly, I would act accordingly, because I'm not coming from fear. I'm not coming from any of that stuff. I understand why it's happening. I can foresee what could be the meaning of this, and I act on it. But if I were to not trust my intuition and go back and say, okay, let me think about it for a couple of days, then I would have missed out on opportunities. Now, the business thing I agree with. You say, yep, I would love to meet let's say we meet tomorrow, and then in that 24 hours, you can do your background check.
Agreed. No, I think if you meet a gatekeeper, Mario Lopez, Tiffany Amber Thiessen, Fritz Coleman, yes, you just do it. Because that's one moment in time you're going to miss out on. But other bigger things, yeah, you got to give it some thought, in my opinion.
This is why I emphasize a daily practice of what?
Meditation.
That's right, drilling it in. Because that gives you the clarity. So when a moment like this, in the words of Kelly Clarkson, arises, you know what you need to do. Because we don't always know, at least I don't always know, excuse me, I'm saying don't always know in the moment. I don't have time to go to the flow chart and say, well, let's see, this could be a gatekeeper introduction moment. I should probably act on it immediately. Or is it something I need to think about? Like that doesn't necessarily come intuitively to me unless my mind is clear and I've meditated and I'm regulated and I'm well slept and I know what my intentions are and what my values are and where I'm headed in life. That makes everything flow. We can't just expect our wonderful viewers and listeners to know how to apply this.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
A lifestyle of listening to your higher angels versus your lower fears.
Don't go out with a loaded gun, with a loaded head, full of emotions, triggers, anger, issues, whatever it may be, traumas. Don't go out with that mindset, because everything is going to be either something that's going to be bad for you, scary for you, whatever for you. But as you said, meditate, clear out everything, compartmentalize, understand your intentions. And when you do meet that chance opportunity, you can take correct action on it.
Triple Shot Mindset.